Welcome to Mastering CS Candid Leader Insights, the podcast where we dive into the world of customer success with industry leaders. I'm your host, Irina Cismas, and today I'm joined by Evgeniya Ioffe, Senior Account Manager at Bytes, a training and communication platform for frontline teams. Evgeniya, I'm really happy to have you here. Thanks for joining.
Really happy to be here.
Before we dive in, you've worked across different worlds, and you are now Senior Account Manager at Bytes. Paint us a picture of your day-to-day there. Who are your customers, and what does the work actually look like?
Perfect. So, as you mentioned, Bytes is a platform for training and communication with employees with a very big focus on frontline employees, but not just that. The idea is that we're basically bringing like a very modern training experience, both in terms of the content that we're creating, the tools around it, and everything surrounding that. This overall is a very learning and development centered world. So we work with L&D, with operations, with HR, basically focused on creating the training, distributing the training, and just making the experience very nice and seamless for all of the sides. I personally have been at Bytes for, I would say, over 3 years. Working at a startup, you get to wear many hats, I would say. I started helping out at CS, but since then, I definitely had a chance to branch out to product, to support, to sales a little bit. And currently, I'm in CS, managing the CS team of 3. This basically means overseeing the team, overseeing the processes, the playbooks, mentoring and coaching them, and of course, managing the high touch enterprise customers as well.
And with so many hats that you are wearing, what do you spend most of your time on? How do you distribute between all of them?
That's a great question. At the moment, the main hat is definitely CS after I've had a chance to touch many departments. Overall, I would say the main focus usually day to day is mentoring the team and strategizing the customer processes. When I started at Bytes, the department was a lot smaller. Okay. We were working with a lot less people, but the core focus has always been very simple. It's delivering the best possible service to the customers and basically making sure that they see the value in the product and that we're a partner in this learning transformation journey that they're undergoing. So the idea here is that we want to fully understand what is the goals and KPIs that brought them to Bytes. What do they want to achieve here? And then what is the best course of action to implement the tool and bring most value to the customer and help them reach their goals. With all of that being said, with the company growing and the team expanding and definitely the customer basis growing as well, it is very crucial that every player on the team knows how to conduct these processes and that each customer that comes in still receives the same level of service, the same level of partnership, even though I'm not there personally to manage each account. And therefore, I would say I spent a lot of the time working with the CS team and which with each CSM personally on ensuring that this is the case and that they're able to have these conversations and manage these accounts in such a way that will bring them to success and to hitting the goals and so on. And of course, I would say the other big part is strategizing for the enterprise customers and ensuring we're building a good plan going forward, that everything is all set and we're leading them to success and hitting their goals as well. And overall, I would say it's with Byte specifically, it's really interesting to see the really amazing learning transformations that kind of these organizations undergo when implementing this tool.
I want to do a deep dive in one of the most important processes in customer success. And in my perspective, that's the onboarding, because it's the one that puts the foundation and basically it determines the success or not of the customers that is joining. So I'm curious, when a new client comes on, what does good onboarding look like? What are you aiming for in the first month? And how do you know when you've got there?
So that's a great question. And I would say onboarding, it's, as you said, it makes or breaks the experience for a customer. It's crucial that it's done properly. Without going into details, I would say that the goal here is very simple. And it's actually not very Byte specific, it's in general. It's understanding the KPIs of the customer, what brought them to the product, what they're being measured on, what their goals are, and what the current workflows are. And now, based on that, we're going to take the onboarding playbook plan that we usually have and customize it to ensure that this is something that the customer is reaching, that this is something that aligns with their goals. And this can be all kinds of things. It can be specific maybe connections that we're going to make to their tools, or maybe changing a specific training workflow that they have, or maybe do a custom integration. It really depends, and it's very account specific. But basically, the goal is that we're onboarding them in a way that they will reach their goals and KPIs. In addition to that, it's super crucial, in my opinion, to show value to the customer in terms of what the tool is bringing. And it's important to do it from day one and basically every day after that. And this is actually always what I tell the team, that this is the basis of every conversation that they need to have, whether it is an email they're writing, whether it's a QBR that they're making or conducting, or a call that they're hopping on, doesn't matter who the person on the other end is. It's always important to show the value that the product is delivering and what are the business results that they're getting from that value, if that makes sense. And I think that once we're able to show that, and if we're translating this into like training and Bytes language, it would be maybe optimizing the training workflow, saving specific time on a training that they're conducting while still improving the results, improving success rates, improving the output that the teams that are getting trained give in the field, shortening the time maybe that it takes to create the training, to implement the training. There's many kind of measurements that you can go into here. But the idea is that once you're able to show this value, I think this is like a really great indication that the onboarding is going well and the implementation and the usage. But of course, it obviously doesn't end there, right? It's not like we're able to show you and it's done. We're going to keep working with the account. But the goal is basically to show this as a success story.
What is the operational infrastructure behind all of this? What do you need in order to be able to provide this level of service to your customers? What platforms are central to how you run your accounts day to day at Bytes?
In terms of the tools we're using, there's a few tools that we're using. I would say that this is probably more of a company-wide thing, not CS, but we're very big on Notion. I don't know if you're familiar with the platform, but it's like a workspace to organize notes. Okay, so organize notes, documents, you can build databases there. The idea that we're storing all of the knowledge in one place and kind of building a database, and this is not just CS, this is support, maybe like customer handover, like basically anything that goes into that. And I think it's a very versatile tool because you can get very technical if you want to, and there's many cool features that you can utilize there, or you can keep it very high level. And the AI level that we have on top of that, like with Notion, that you can ask questions and it goes through the whole knowledge base, it's super cool and it's very helpful and it's been working very well. Other than that, I would say we have HubSpot for like managing and tracking clients, for quotes, for kind of sales notes and communications. We have BI for dashboards. I have a great BI team that manages that. Slack for internal communication. I do want to mention one tool. It's not a very typical tool, but it's something that we're implementing, which is a CS platform. Now, the time for the company has come. And once again, I've been here for a while. And like now we notice that there's a need for kind of a very centralized place that is very CS specific, where all of the customers, measurements, and so on are there. And the usual process for this is, and I'm sure this is something that you hear a lot, is that the organization will go out and buy a CS platform. And this is what we considered in the beginning. And we got on a few calls, we talked to a few companies, explored the options, spoke internally, and actually came to the conclusion that we want to build our own. Okay. We want to build our own that's going to give the exact answer to the needs that we have, both in terms of what it does, the workflows that you can build, the reports that are on it, what view we have for each CSM or leader or C-level, that kind of that. I mean, with the AI tools out there today, it's definitely something that you can do. And actually, I had a chance to sit down and fully plan this out and understand and really deeply think through what is the need, like what are we missing, what would be helpful, and kind of plan that out. And this is actually in the works right now, and I'm super excited for the result. I think it's going to be a really good tool for the team.
Super. And now I want to develop on the AI things, because you mentioned that AI stays on top of Notion. What are the use cases? How do you leverage AI? Is it for the automations only? Is it for the insights and data, customer data analysis, one-offs? Did you build agents? Tell me more about this.
There's a lot of work being done with AI. I'm sure you hear this from everyone you speak to. It's a very big topic right now, and rightfully. First of all, in the tools that we have, like Notion, for example, we already use the AI layer. And the idea is, once again, to build a central knowledge base. And we have many tools connected to that. But basically, that allows for anyone in the company, not just CS, it's like an agent. You have a question, you ask
Yeah.
it, you get a response in terms of how to do something, what is the workflow, what is the playbook, maybe certain stats that you're trying to pull kind of process. And this is actually something that directly connects to the CS platform that we're building / implementing, because the idea is that at the end of the day, it's going to be like an agent for the CSM team. And this can be very not simple high level, whether you need a specific usage stat or what is going with that account. Instead of going and digging, you're just going to be able to ask a question, get a response, move on with your day. And it's something that really helps optimize and improve the CS workflows and help them get to the information faster. But also think that maybe someone is making a QBR deck or an executive review deck. The idea is that with the way that we set it up and the knowledge that is in there and the central knowledge base, they'll be able to say, build me a QBR deck, and then they get it right. It's already something that we're fully implementing with ChatGPT and Claude, which are amazing tools that do that. But the idea is to make it as simple and as straightforward as possible, which would save everyone a lot of time and help us deliver better results to the customer.
That's awesome. I'm curious how everything would in the end would sort it out for you guys. So I'm gonna plan already a follow-up sessions to let us know how the deployment of your own CS solution worked out. You already mentioned this, that at Bytes you are wearing different hats, and I know that you did that previously as well. And now I'm curious, what did wearing every hat teach you about managing a relationship that still shows up in how you work with clients?
That's a great question. First of all, I think it's about having a very good relationship with the champion that we're working with, ensuring that you're listening to them. You're not just pushing, I wouldn't say agenda, but what you know from the product, but it's really listening and understanding the client needs, the goals of what they came with, why they bought the product, and what they want from it. And ensuring that everything that we do is actually something that connects to that and helps the customer take it forward. And this is not, once again, this is not Byte specific. I think with every product that you buy or you use or something like that, this is very important. And I got to experience this firsthand. It was a really interesting experience when we went to look at the different CS platforms. For the first time, I got to be on the other side of the process where you're buying and you're telling about the goals. And you can feel such a difference when you know the person on the other end is listening and really understanding what you want from them versus when they're like, yeah, okay, this is great. This is what the platform does. So I think that is definitely the biggest one. And I know I said this a few times, but definitely showing the value. Once again, any process, customer success, sales, product, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is what they care about, that the product that they bought is something that is bringing them results and helping them get what they need. And if you're not doing that, the customer is not going to stay. So it's very important that, first of all, that you're bringing value. And I think with a good product, this is something that's pretty easy to show, but definitely also that you're showing it to them, because champions, not all of the time they see this and they understand this, even though it can be like right there in their face. And it's very important that you're proactive, that you're communicating this, also that you're asking them how it's going and making sure that the process works for them as well. And this is something that they want and expect.
Is there a habit, a way of thinking, or something you learned the hard way early on that still shows up in how you run accounts today?
I think I would say that it's really important, and it took me a really long time to realize this. It's a very important part of CS as well, is that you shouldn't speak features, you should speak the outcomes that the features bring. And this is something that, like, when I speak to my CSMs and when we teach them and when we work with different accounts and we unpack what is going on and how we should project to them, like the process, the QBRs and everything like that, this is the most important thing at the end of the day. Because you can say, like, for example, we released this very cool feature, it does this and this, but the customer, they're not going to care unless they're able to connect it to what this feature is going to give them. So what is the outcome at the end of the day? How is it going to help them reach their goal? How is it going to simplify their life? How is it going to give them something to show their boss, for example, that while they're doing amazing things? And it's a little bit of a mindset change, I would say, in terms of how you think and speak and present things, but it's a really important one to make to ensure that you're bringing the customers to success and speaking in that more executive language as well.
Evgenia, this was a really interesting conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Of course. Thank you.
To everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and mastering customer success.